and connecting. Welcome, guys. Welcome to our New Zealand Freedom support session. It is Monday, the 8th of May. Yes, sorry. I don't know what days it is. I've been on like getaways. What do you expect? I'm not meant to know the date when you've been sunning it up on the north end of Queensland for the last 5 days. But I am super excited to be here tonight, and I wanted to probably spend a little bit of time bragging on these two women that are here tonight. We have had the most magnificent last 5 days celebrating our achievers to Port Douglas. It was an incredible first time incentive trip ever been done in the Juice Plus Australia, New Zealand community. Was it the first time ever? Maybe. I know it was the first one ever here in Australia and New Zealand. I don't know if it's the first one worldwide, but it definitely is not going to be the last. It was an amazing incentive trip. We had loads and loads of fun. But also it's really cool to celebrate those that have really shown up over the last 5 months to make it happen. And so I thought tonight, rather than, I don't want to shout at you guys for the next 40 minutes, I thought it'd be great to get on two women that, you know, I really admire their dedication over the last 5 months to be able to achieve it. And really just let's hear what gold they got out of the weekend. So to begin with, I might lean on Bridget. Bridge, thanks for jumping on. I know you've only had about 4 hours sleep, or less, 2 hours sleep. I don't know. I know you had a long trip home. What time did you get home this morning?
I landed at 1 and I got home at just after 4 a.m.
My goodness. And left at 11 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. the morning before out of Port Douglas. So, but I want to ask you, was it all worth it? The travel back and forth, was it all worth it?
Yeah, a million times over.
Yeah, amazing. I'd love to just maybe share what were 1 or 2 standouts that you had from the week that was.
I loved it that it was everybody was included. So it was so nice to be hanging out with obviously the leaders like it always is, but then obviously other people that one of Deja's team, I think had only been in the business since December, which was incredible. She didn't know anybody there. And being able to get that one-on-one time and away from conference, because on conference there's just so much going on, and I feel like whenever you get a chance to talk to somebody, they're always in a rush, they're always doing something, and actually just to sit down and chill and hang out was huge. Like Bianca had an amazing breakthrough with Linda, and just being able to have that personal one-on-one conversation that just sprung up was so good. And the caliber of the events that they put on, I was blown away. Like as a caterer, was incredible. Like I know not everyone got to go on the exclusive trip on the Friday, but we went into the rainforest and had an incredible walk with all these lovely tours and learned a lot about the environment. And then I helped Celine not drown in the river quite a few times. It was our entertainment. But then if that wasn't enough, they put on a 3-course meal sitting on the river. And so the effort that has gone into it, there's just so much behind the scenes that I don't think we really understood. So I'm so impressed. It's incredible.
So good. Hey, I'm not sure if you're clever enough or prepared enough. Do you have a photo of the lunch that you guys had in the Daintree in the stream?
Yeah, I could probably do it, and if you gave me a few minutes, maybe.
Yes, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Come back to it. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is. That your house with the bit of noise in the background?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. All right, we're gonna go to Bianca. Hey, Bianca.
Hello, Adam.
Tell us about your experience. What was it that you, I suppose, was the standout of the week just that was?
Yeah, so it's definitely been difficult to like pinpoint one specific thing. I think it's just the coming together and realizing that this is so big. It's way bigger than you can ever think it actually is. like there's this whole community. And what I loved about it was the one of the big things, I guess I had an incredible conversation with Linda, and that to me was my standout because I've never met her in person. So what a woman, right? And the experience that these people come with, like yourself as well, but the experience that they come with, and just know, like, you know, this is what you need. Like, I really appreciated that. And I think to still be extreme for me, always be coachable, like taking what I need from people, what they're willing to give. So that was a big one for me. But what I found also over these 5 days that was incredible, which I've never realized before, was the like-mindedness. Like, yes, we're all in this together, we're all you know, on this mission, but the beliefs that people have, like, I don't often find people that have these certain beliefs that I have about life, and like so much more than health and wellness. And I found it in this group by spending like quality time with people, and like we are all so similar, and it's incredible that we have just like magnetized towards each other in other beliefs and other things. Like, I don't want to elaborate too much on some of the conversations, but that to me was amazing. Like, I could just talk to people and it was okay. And probably my third thing would be, and I'm just going to say this, no, don't do that. Sorry, my cat's broken stuff. So the other thing was, like, you know, women can be so hard on themselves. And I saw women in all shapes and sizes. I saw women, like, we all were just like happy with our stretch marks, happy with whatever. And women were just loving each other. Like, everyone is sitting at the pool. Like, I had a gluten baby. Like, I had 6 of them because I ate so much gluten. And it was just okay. Like, no one cared. Everyone was so comfortable, tits out, boobs out, like fat hanging out for me, myself. And it was okay. And I loved that so much, that there was no judging. Like, everyone was just, here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. That's why I stayed under the water most of the time, Bianca.
I'm
because
sure.
the Good Life Juice Plus has got me over the years. Yes, it was amazing. And I know for me personally, just hanging out with, you know, I really did look at the group that was there as our next emerging leadership group. You know, I've seen so many people work through our business and come through and create some really cool success. And I really know that often the people that get to these levels are often our next leadership group. And I hope that, and I know there were people that were not at this trip that I know are a part of that as well. And if you got a little bit of FOMO over the weekend, if you just got a little bit, can you write a number 5 in the chat? Alex has got so much FOMO that she's taking over the screen. Oh, Bridget is. Bridget, you're showing? Oh, yes. This is them having lunch in the middle of the creek in the Daintree. It's pretty amazing. Look at it. Crazy. Bianca, you were there also because you're obviously in the... Oh, no, you weren't there. Sorry.
No, I just fell out right at the last day.
Yes. Did you have FOMO missing out on that?
You know what? I just believe that it is what it's meant to be. And I was happy to lay in the pool
Yes.
and have many, many mango daiquiris and have the worst hangover of my life. So no.
It was awesome. Awesome. Hey, Bridge, from the weekend gone, was there one bit of nugget that you learnt from the weekend that you're going to take away that maybe that you can share with these guys?
Oh, I'm so brain dead right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, one. I guess just to not be so attached to the outcome and just keep doing the do, keep moving forward. And what did Linda say? The chips will fall as they may. So I think I have been very attached to my own personal outcome and putting too much effort on that instead of just going through the motions and just keeping on with the flow, you know. So I guess that's probably the biggest one.
And just let us understand that a bit better. What does that actually mean? Attached to the outcome, that sort of thing.
I guess putting so much pressure on certain team or pressure on myself to be a certain position instead of just going through the motions, doing my DMO, bringing on new team, bringing on new customers, and people will fall as they do, and I can't really influence it too much.
Yeah, I love that.
I can't drag people along with me.
Yes. Yeah, be nice to put them all in a headlock and drag them to the finish line, but you're probably going to drown in the process.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love that. Bianca, you get a head start on this. What about you? Your answer needs to be doubly as good because you've had a couple of minutes to think about this question.
What was the question again?
Are you even listening to me?
I have, but I have also not slept much. Okay, I got home at 3 a.m. Okay, and I was up talking at a call at 8 a.m. So, what a woman.
Sorry,
what was the question again?
I couldn't hear you because the violin in the background was playing. Sorry. Can I one nugget of information that you learned? What was one thing that you learned from the weekend that you probably take away back into your business?
Gosh, that's such a difficult question.
I
But
know,
I suppose
that's why
it's
I
just
asked them.
like we are just all on this road, and we just all on this mission together. And I think the sad thing is some people on this call are going to quit eventually, and that's going to be the worst mistake you're ever going to make in your life. And to just keep on going and going through the seasons and like keep going, like get your ass to the next one. Like you do not want to miss out on these things. Like it has just lit the fire inside me that's already lit, like so much more, and it just keeps on reconfirming like why we do what we do. And can I just say, we have the best CEO in the world, guys. Like you do not know, if you do not know what we have in her, like seriously, what a woman.
Yes, I agree. Good point. And just I want to reiterate on what Bianca just shared about staying in the game no matter what. We had an interesting conversation on the way back to the airport on Saturday. How many guys would like Bianca May as your downline? How many guys would be like, man, I wish I had recruited Bianca May. That would be amazing. Not everyone. Some people obviously know you a bit better than I do, Bianca. But I'm joking.
Well, gee, thanks, guys.
They're all tired as well, obviously. But I will say this: do you know Bianca May's upline left about 2 years ago now? Was it 2 years ago now, Bianca?
Yeah, it's about 2 years now, Lisa. Yeah.
Yeah. And since then, Bianca's gone NMD. And built an amazing business. And I don't think anyone would argue with me that this girl is going to take it all the way and become a PMD and a PMD plus. And imagine if you sponsored somebody and then 2 years on, they became a PMD or PMD plus, how you'd be. I know one thing I'd be doing is unfollowing that person because that would hurt. Just, I suppose, no different to the way Jeff Roberti's upline probably doesn't check in on how his life is these days as well, because he left. So it's a really great reminder. What Bianca said is staying in the game, staying close to the fire, keep showing up. You just never, ever, ever know what is possible and what is around the corner. And I've said this to a few people recently. Every single one of you are one conversation away or one believer away in this totally blowing your mind and completely blowing up. I really believe that. And it's just those that are willing to stay close, stay in it, and stay focused are the ones that are rewarded. There's so much cool stuff going on inside the company, so much cool stuff happening in growth with people. I really want to encourage you guys to stay in it. I wanted to probably spend a little bit of time with you girls and talk about the next big event that's on, and that's conference. Everyone knows about conference. It's the weekend of June 17. Yes, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be lots of fun. And I know you guys in New Zealand, it takes a little bit more effort. I get it. It definitely takes a little bit more effort. Bianca shared a little bit about those that have got visas, that are living in New Zealand. I really feel for you guys and what the commitment and what you need to go through to do that. I know some of you guys are like, Adam, it's not cheap to get from New Zealand to the Gold Coast and all the bits and pieces. I totally get that. But I also stand for your success. And I really want to see you guys really get what you want to get out of this. And again, no one comes to the weekend just gone and said that was a waste of my time, right? They know, like, on so many levels, they're like, man, I need to plug into this stuff. And I know also is that even some of the girls that came from New Zealand, not these two girls, but there were a couple of girls that came from New Zealand that said, Adam, we kind of decided that we were just coming to this and we weren't going to be able to make conference, but now they've been to the event and they've experienced it, and they are reminded on how important getting around the community and getting around those things that really inspire us, how important they are to propel us forward. So I suppose, Bridge, for these guys, maybe some of these guys are would like to get one more promotion done, would like to get something done, maybe get qualified before conference, get to senior partner, unlock one more bonus before they get to conference. Someone who really applied herself for the last 5 months, not only qualified for Port Douglas, but we're finished in the top 8 and experienced what you experienced. Tell us, what sort of attitude do you, from what you understand now, do these guys need to adopt to really make the next 5-6 weeks really, potentially game changing, and have them really come to conference with some really cool momentum?
I would be talking to your upline or whoever you're working closely with and work out what's possible before going to conference, and then just get really clear on what it's going to take to achieve that. So you can create yourself a little roadmap. And so then you're like, right, every day I've got to do this many reach outs. I've got to because I'm going to need this many customers to take me here, to take my pay line there. I'm going to need this many team to promote. And I think when you've got such a short space of time, you can really map it out and create what you need to create in that time. And at the end of the day, if you give it your all and you don't make it, that's totally fine, but at least you can't turn around and say, oh, well, I didn't try.
Yeah.
I
love that.
Conference is just, I don't know, it's mind-blowing. I'm so excited because we haven't been able to be in the room for 2 years, and the feeling that you get inside that room is just will totally change your thoughts on this business forever. It's just undescribable. You could be there.
And I suppose, Bridge, and the weekend wasn't a huge event in the way of numbers, right? The experience was huge, but the amount of people were there, there's 50 of us there. Tell me, what were you reminded over the week about why events are so important?
It's just hearing everyone's stories, just hearing so many different stories, and then being able to relate to those other people. And sometimes you might hear a story a little bit different. You might have heard it before, but it's said in a different way. Or you might go, oh man, I can think of someone who's totally going to relate to that person. So you can be like, oh, I'm going to message them now. I think it's just, and it just builds your confidence and your belief on all levels, on the products, on the business, on what's possible. You hear people create crazy success and you're like, oh, if they can do it, why can't I, kind of thing.
I love it. Bianca, what about you?
I know from personal experience, like conference is the game changer. And I think when someone tells you, your upline, whoever tells you to come to conference, it's for no other reason but for yourself, to get yourself where you need to be. And you just never know what you're going to hear there. Like, I am big believer in conference of what it's done for me. And you know what? Let your goals and dreams be bigger than your excuses. I think everyone has an excuse why they can't come. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, if you cannot make this work, like, no one is going to do it for you. You are the only one that can make this work. And if you really want it, you'll make a plan. I know it's tough. It's tough for me as well. But it's just one of those non-negotiables that you can't miss conference.
Yes, I love it. Tell me, what about those that would love to get one more bonus, one more position, one more thing done over the next 5 weeks? What sort of attitude, mindset do you think they need to adopt, Bianca?
Like, it's first of all, it's going to be like, if this is what you want, if you want to go for that next one, like, you're going to have to prepare yourself to make some sacrifices. Put all your effort into it and see where this takes you. Like, nothing bad can come from this. You can only grow from it. Like if you really want it, you're gonna have to make it. You're gonna have to make it work. And if it gets you one step closer, that's a win as well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think it's so real in saying that if you think you're going to make magic happen and not expect some sort of sacrifices somewhere, you're in denial. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's not just going to happen. I think the first thing is, like Bridge said, it's making a decision, you know what, and then working out what needs to happen to do it. And then adopting that attitude with, like Bianca, and being real with yourself. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to take work and effort and energy. But if I get focused, if there's enough reason and purpose, you know what, anything is possible. And I truly believe that from every single one of you guys, because you've done great things in your life in the past. I know you have. If you're a mom, you've done great things. I know. Just bringing that little human into this world is a great thing. Right? You can do hard things. I often say to my daughter, I remind her when she gets scared, I'm like, you can do hard things. And you girls can too. You can do hard things when you get really focused. No babies here in our house. We've been holding babies for the last couple of days. That's about as close as I'm getting to babies. So I want to remind you guys that I'd love to open it up maybe for the next 10 minutes. If you guys, girls, have got any questions that you would love to ask Bridget, Bianca, while you guys are thinking about a question, how many of you guys have made a commitment? One, if you're coming to conference this year, write a number 5 in the chat. I just want to get an idea of how many of you guys are already have decided that you're coming. Awesome. There's a few of you. Great. I would say those that haven't written a 5 in, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? What would have to happen for you to be there, right? How do we get our hands on a ticket? They're not sold out. They will be sold out, but they're not yet, right? I will remind you guys that tickets right now include your meals for both Friday and Saturday. I want to remind you guys that that ticket includes both days, meals on both days, plus your gala, and you get fed at gala as well. So don't forget about that. I think we forget about, okay, the cost of that. So yes, get in there. It'll be fun. So come to conference. Trust me, guys, I was 5 days into the business and somebody said, come to conference. It was interstate. I had no money, certainly didn't have any time. It was a crazy notion, the idea of going to conference. But, you know, Linda said to me, if you want to create success here, trust me, not everyone goes to conference. But there's no one that's successful that isn't there, right? Success leaves clues, right? If you want to create success, you've got to do what successful people do, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels like it doesn't make sense, Adam. You got to get there. And I know some of you guys have been to if some of you guys have been to the New Zealand conference and are like, I can't experience that. Trust me, you haven't experienced the conference yet. You haven't. Bianca, have you been to a big conference yet?
I have not.
Yes.
So I am super excited. This is only going to be my 3rd conference, but I will never, ever miss one. I don't care what I have to do, how many kidneys I have to sell. I will never miss one.
Yes, trust me. And I'll be saying this. I'll be honest. Bianca actually doesn't need to be at a conference every year because she's already fired up. She's already like, I'm doing this all the way. But she understands if she doesn't treat this with respect, others won't either. It's got to be a part of your story. I've never missed one. I set the standard. The standard that you set is the standard that you set for everyone that goes after you. Everyone that goes after you. When you can share your story, that when I made a decision never to miss one ever again, right? When I made the decision, now some of you guys are like, but I missed one. Don't worry. When you made a decision, like I never missed one ever again, it's amazing what happens, right? You can hold space. Getting people in that room is a complete game changer, a complete belief builder every single time. And I want to encourage you guys, if you're already going, you've already made that decision, I want to encourage you that you've, one, bought your ticket. Don't wait. You don't want to miss out. The last thing you want to do is that you get to go and buy a ticket and they're gone. That'll be one. I think just universally, God, whatever, you need to say, I'm here for it. I'm going and I'm making the commitment. I'm going to buy my ticket. That's the first thing. Second, my second challenge for you is that who are you going to bring? Bring one person in your team. Every single one of you. Bring one person. If you're already bringing one person, bring one more. Whatever you know that you've got down right now, I want to challenge every single one of you guys to hold space and help one more person be in that room. You get to be the person that holds hope and faith for them. You get to be that person. Say, I know it doesn't make sense and I totally get it, but this isn't an expense. It's an investment. It's investing into you, your future, what this could be for you. And I can tell you guys, every single one of you guys are one conversation and one believer away from this completely changing your life. It really is, right? There are so many people right now, guys. There are so many people right now that are so stretched financially, that are in so much financial fear and uncertainty, that there are so many people that need this right now. I was talking to Linda on the way home from Brisbane Airport yesterday, and we're just chatting about plans. We're actually coming to Auckland, by the way, early next month before conference. So you guys can keep an eye on that. I'll share some information in a minute. But as we were talking about that, you know, one of the things that we talked about was some of the best people that have ever joined network marketing came through tough times, Many people will tell you, people that really have got an incredible entrepreneurial spirit and mindset and work ethic often lean into network marketing through tough times, through financial crises, recessions, when times get tough, where people feel bulletproof and they're like, I need to get resourceful because things are not easy right now, and they lean into this. As if you guys don't know, Linda Evenden joined Juice Plus in the middle of the global financial crisis. She lived in America and went through the GFC, lost everything, moved back to Australia, and her little Juice Plus customer account, a little $100, $150, $200 that she was getting each month, all of a sudden meant a little bit more than it ever. And she started to explore, maybe there's more to this than I realize. She started that way. So I can tell you there are lots of people out there, guys, right now thinking about solutions. They're looking to get proactive. You want to be that person in their inbox. Yeah, she's coming to New Zealand. So I want to share you guys really quickly on this. So Lauren LaHave, if any of you guys know Lauren LaHave is Linda's upline. Lauren LaHave runs many of Tony Robbins' life mastery sessions in Fiji. So Lauren was sponsored by Jeff Roberti. Yes, Lauren will not be putting on the bus. No. Lauren is never in charge of the bus. The last time we're in the US, she put a whole bunch of people on the bus, forgot to put mixers on the bus, and but only with bottles of spirit only, and everyone was pretty messy by that night. So luckily I avoided that bus. There was a pole on the bus as well. I'm not sure how that worked out, but anyway, it was fun. But Lauren is here. Lauren is coming to Auckland with Linda on the 2nd and 3rd of June. All right, they're going to be in Auckland and conference. Yes, she'll be at conference as well. But they are, and quite possibly I'll be tagging along. They will be in Auckland. Let me get the dates right. I believe, just keep an eye out on save the dates. But the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of June, Linda and Lauren, and maybe myself, will be in Auckland. They'll be running a women's empowerment high tea like event on the Friday or the Saturday, I believe. Yeah, it's a long weekend. It's all good. People are still alive. But I believe they're looking at doing it on the Friday because I believe maybe during the day on the Friday because of the long weekend. But you know what? Those that can make it is the way it is always perfect. It'll be a great opportunity to get prospects in the room that weekend, prospects in the room, and get them in front of Lauren. Like you want to get your people to understand the value that's on offer here. And that's what we want to utilize, help you guys utilize Lauren for. So keep an eye out on the dates. They're just locking in venues at the moment, and hopefully in the next couple of days, yes, she is a pocket rocket. It'll be amazing. Alex, were you in the room with Lauren when they're on the Gold Coast last?
This is Bridget in disguise.
Oh, that's sorry.
She was in Melbourne, and I was in Melbourne.
Oh, you're okay. Good.
Mm.
Yeah, she's amazing. And yes, I would be getting every team member, every prospect in that room in Auckland if you guys can. And then obviously she'll be here on the Gold Coast the weekend. So she'll be coming to Auckland 2 weeks before conference, and then they'll be going to Melbourne, Sydney, Newcastle. We'll be doing an event here in Southeast Queensland, either Brisbane or the Gold Coast, the weekend before conference. And then obviously come conference Thursday night, there's always something fun to do. And then officially Friday and Saturday, it's going to be lots of fun. Do you girls have any questions you want to, any burning question you'd like to ask Bianca or Bridget or me? Come off mute.
Bianca, Shannon, do it. I can see she wants to say something. Do it.
I have nothing to say for a change.
Nothing.
I have a question.
Go. Go.
Okay, so if you reverse engineering your roadmap to success,
Yes.
when you ladies were reverse engineering your roadmap, what are you doing day in, day out? What are your non-negotiables? What do you wake up and go to bed without doing non-negotiable? That's my question.
Bianca, go.
Alexandria, as you know, many reach out, many follow up, many personal development, and it's just repeat, my friend. It's the same thing we do every day.
Yeah. So
The
again,
one that's the most successful is the one that speaks to the most people. That's just something I believe. Sorry.
I love it. Bridge, is there anything, like, give us an insight? You're busy, you got 2 kids, little ones crawling all over you most of the time. Your business
I'm
doubled
definitely
in the
not.
last 3-4 months.
Business doesn't look organized. It happens when it happens. But yeah, always at least inviting at least 1 or 2 people, either products or business. I follow up like crazy. Like I follow up, I don't know, 20, 30 people a day. I follow up lots of people, and always starting new conversations, even if that conversation is just hi. I always started lots of new conversations.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that when you guys are doing Juice Plus, right? Like people say I'm doing, like someone said to me the other day, this morning, they said, Adam, I'm feeling kind of frustrated. I said, why? They said, I feel like I'm doing the work and I'm not really getting any traction. Anyone feel like that? I said, okay, tell me what's been going on. I said, how many hours do you feel like you've been spending on your business each day? She said, I don't know, a lot though. And I said, tell me, how many people have you invited in the last 6 weeks? I said, how many people have you invited in the last 6 weeks? Because that's the number 1 activity, by the way. Right? You can be talking to all the people you want, but you got to be inviting people. So I said, how many people have you invited? And she kind of said, I don't know. And I said, well, go count them. So she did. And we worked out that she'd invited 20 people in the last 6 weeks. Now, most of you would go, that's amazing. Bianca would say, maybe not. Well, it's amazing compared to someone that's doing 5 or 10 in 6 weeks. But I said, I want to give you some insight. You're saying to me, you're spending 2 to 3 hours a day on this business. That means you're spending 10 to 15 hours a week if you're not working on the weekends, CB. I said in those 10 to 15 hours, you're inviting 3.5 people in 10 to 15 hours a week. 3 to 5 people. do you think you're utilizing your time to your best? And I said to her, I bet you I know how many people you've recruited. And she's like, how do you know? Because I know the numbers. If you invite 20 people, 10 people will be open to it. Half of those will be open to maybe a possible, like maybe some, like, let's have a conversation. So they've probably been on a post-event meeting. And I would say out of those 4 or 5 people, 2 people have signed up. And she was like, how do you know that? Because I'm like, the numbers don't lie. I'm telling you guys, you want it, you go like, oh, but what if I could do it better? Trust me, you could try to do it better, or you could just commit to do the number. I said to her, if you want to sign up 2 people a week, 2 people a month, 2 people a month, not 2 people in 6 weeks, but 2 people every month. And I think you guys would underestimate what your business would do if you were able to consistently sponsor 2 people every single month. I said, you need to work out how to invite 20 people in 1 month, not in 2. If you guys aren't getting those results, then you need to get on Level Up. You need to come to me and show me your numbers, and I'll help you guys with the conversion. Level Up Monday, 1 p.m. for you guys, or tomorrow night it's a bit late, it's 10 p.m., but it'll be worth it. I got to go. I got to take our Australia-New Zealand call. Talk soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, guys. Have an awesome week. Bye.